So today we launch your top fans on Today Ghana News TV, and we want all the viewers and listeners across the globe to tune in all the time. We're calling everybody, call your brother, call your sister to tune in all the time and be watching great, amazing prizes from today. So keep watching Ghana News TV.
Empowerment
and the Christians being the majority in Ghana, what do you think will happen? And to me, that is a real test.
Prejudicial comments on it.
It is unconstitutional. If you look at Article 21C of the Constitution, it gives every Ghanaian an opportunity to practice their religion.
Why am I saying this? I'm going to use my life experience as an example. Before I decided to enter into SRC,
COVID is very important. HIV is equally important.
Agencies must do a lot. And Ministry of Gender.
I could see flashes of light, I could see shadows, I could see images, but then it stopped. I am now blind and have to be sad and all that.
There are challenges to this effect. So what do we do as a nation? What do we do as individuals? What do we do as organizations?
Je lance à toutes les personnes handicapées, aussi bien les femmes également.
Once you lack integrity, trust me, you are going nowhere.
A lot of people go to church and they are Christians, but they are not truly repentant. It's happened to me, like only by the mercy and grace of God that I'm alive to share all that I've been through or went through.
showing every Friday at 6 p.m. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on Twitch, as well as YouTube. You are welcome to Empowerment show, showing on Today Ghana News TV. It's the end of another week, and it's a privilege to be here this evening to host an interesting topic for tonight. Thanks to all our viewers for tuning in. Kindly inform others that Empowerment Our Show is on, so they can also tune in to Facebook or YouTube to join us. Okay, so for those in the Eastern European countries as well, you can watch us via satellite on Twitch. And kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, and in order to receive prompts anytime that we are live. You can watch us throughout the week, as we have a week-long program throughout the week. You can watch us throughout the week. And before we go into the conversation, just to remind you, Authentic Sales, which is an online sales business, offers you quality products at affordable prices, and they are associated with Empowerment Our Show. For your original Apple products ranging from iPhones, chargers, AirTags, etc., you can kindly contact them on 020-800-2854. And thanks to Taylor and the Cobbler for great deals and instant deliveries on quality office shoes, boots, leather clutches, and bags. Do not hesitate to contact them on 0279-214846 or on Instagram, Taylor_the_Cobbler. Jody's Kitchen, unleash your craves and we will do the rest. Just as their slogan goes, they will cater for all your cravings. So contact them on 079-272-79904 for all your home-cooked family meals and specially made shito during your small gathering and parties. Afrani's Cuisine offers real and good tasty food. Look no further. Contact them on 073-070-44120. Thanks to the Links Cosmetology Training Institute for associating with Empowerment Our Show. The Links Cosmetology Training Institute, we have a passion for your hair care. Do well to contact them on 055-70-89324 and on Facebook or Instagram via the handle The Links for all your hair designs, hair caps, makeup, Brazilian waxing, manicure and pedicure, as well as all your beauty needs. Agbozo Herbal Clinic. They treat prostate enlargement, premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, low sperm count, penis enlargement, candidiasis, that's white, and pulse, what we know as cocoa. You can visit them at 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. from Mondays to Saturdays, and at 12 to 5 p.m. on Sundays. For further enquiries, please contact them on 0241-750-282 or 055-740-2696. Agbozo Herbal Clinic. No man has an expiry date. All right, so before we zoom into tonight's discussion, I would want us to go on a quick commercial break and then we'll be right back.
Maba ebusiafo minyanum emusumfo na nefie kobisewa ampim ena meka sei sa wotumi nka na nya me ho bi na etame ana dede bi na meye ne momedie ni GSM nam makopie so na mahu na mabisa ne ya ka kire me eyi the Links Cosmetology Training Institute anyo mesi the Links Cosmetology Training Institute we institutional apoa ma yemi nuanom ma Nebe boy na ma yensan adwuma be na opese wosua about cosmetology, hair design, hair cap, makeup, beauty salon, Brazilian weaving, medical and pedicure. Brania mountete papa, brania mount san adwuma, brania ntwi mount found sense opon found so ya madam. Ye ni kesio bibi kids word. Ni ya mount san adwuma na na muso am watumi aboa afoforo. Enti Mrs. Amatia some day ya. Min kwami ntimi emfa nhye mitim. E wose mitumi ne mo beche na mitumi ye emwa emamo. Enti mi ma me kasa nyentintin. Yesi ahwe ne power way empe kasa anaa ne pa enkamfo ne ho enti ɛna me se frɛ ye ne bra ya so ye so ye ma wo ntete ye pa sɛ wo pɛ sɛ wo tɔ nwi enwi a ya yankasa ya ye enwi papa human hair enwi from ye ma wa kodi apetumi so ɛde aye bunwi mu ama wunwi aye from ye delivery wa amane nyinara hefa na wo hefa na wo pɛ sɛ ye delivery ni bibro frɛ ye ɛwɔ 0557 089324 0557 089324 na yemra ni yemma wo de wo pɛ ɛma wakoma ɛntɔ wo yem obentumi nso so follow yɛn wɔ Instagram and Facebook the links ana yɛbɛgye wo so sɛ we have passion for your hair care makram.
With the legalization of cannabis for industrial and health purposes, Ghana joins countries like Malawi, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Lesotho, and South Africa that have decriminalized medicinal cannabis use. You are watching us live on Today Ghana News TV, and tonight's discussion is on the topic legalization of marijuana in Ghana and its economic benefits. We are privileged to have with us on Empowerment our show tonight, Nana Kweku Ajiman, and he's the founder and president of Hemp Association of Ghana and the CEO of Hemp Agric Ghana Limited. He is also a UEFA licensed football coach, a sports analyst who has featured for many of the mainstream media houses in producing, directing, and presenting radio and television shows covering the past 2 decades. You are welcome to Empowerment our show, Nana Kweku Ajiman.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Sorry for the slight interruption. You're welcome once again, Nana Kweku Ajiman.
Very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. So, Nana, please, we would want to quickly zoom into tonight's discussion. It's going to be an hour-long interaction with you. And then we hope that we are going to be entertained and then empowered as we always have. Okay, so I would first of all want to find out from you. There are a lot of misconceptions about marijuana, and a lot of people associate mad people on the street as marijuana users. And so, for the purposes of those who hold such beliefs and others who may not know what marijuana actually is, kindly tell us briefly about it. Is it the same as weed? And what are some of the uses of this marijuana?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's always very important for those of us working in the media to dig deep, get our research right, and then put out the information for the general public, because we have an oversight role, those of us who are in the media. And so, first of all, what I want to say is that, we're talking about cannabis, and there are different strains of cannabis. The cannabis that we're talking about in Ghana is not marijuana, it's industrial hemp. It can be used for industrial purposes and can also be used for medicinal purposes. Industrial hemp comes with a THC cap of 0.3%, and this is worldwide. Now, THC is short for tetrahydrocannabidiol. It is the compound within marijuana, which is different to industrial hemp, that gives you that high feeling when you ingest it through smoke, or when you ingest it through toffees or cakes, or the like. So that is completely separate and different to industrial hemp. And we tend to get it all mixed up because we talk about Indian hemp. When we talk about Indian hemp, what is it we're talking about? What does it actually mean? To us, we're talking about something that we smoke. But the moment you mention the word hemp to me, then you're talking about industrial hemp. So we always have to bear in mind that there's two main strains of cannabis, two main types of cannabis. One is cannabis sativa L, which is industrial hemp, 0.3 THC. The other is marijuana, weed, ganja, sensibilia, tampi, and it has much more THC than the zero point 0.3 in industrial hemp. So it's very potent. So when you smoke it, you feel that high. But the issue of smoking and psychosis, because this is what you were alluding to, some people were saying when you consume marijuana, you will become mad. That is not true at all. That doesn't happen at all. There is no correlation between smoking marijuana and becoming mad. There's no
Nana,
correlation.
please, not to interject. Please, I've had feedback that they cannot hear you. If you could kindly amplify your voice a bit.
Okay. I hope that's better. I'll come a bit closer to my laptop.
Okay.
So I'm saying that there's no correlation between smoking cannabis and madness. It is a fallacy. Look, from I was a boy, people have been taking weekend holidays to Holland, the south of Holland, where they will go to these cafes. You're in Europe, so you know, and they will just go there on a smoking binge for the entire weekend. And then they will take a flight back to the United Kingdom and get on with their jobs on Monday. None of those people have ever been reported back. And Italy, it's legal. Germany, it's legal. Holland, it's legal. Spain, Portugal, it's legal. You don't have issues of people walking up and down the street mentally deranged. You know, you don't have those issues there, and we don't have those issues here. It's make believe. We have professional people who should know better, who are scaremongering the communities up and down the country by telling them that if they indulge in, they will be bad. It's totally untrue. I mean, look, every day people go into the hospital and many of them don't come out alive. Is it true then for me to say that the hospital has killed these people who haven't come out alive? It wouldn't be correct, would it? Because that wouldn't be the cause of why they died. And so it would be a false correlation to say because they've gone into the hospital and not come out alive, it was the hospital that is responsible for their death. Because that is not the causation. That is not the cause of their death. They had something that was wrong with them that the hospital couldn't remedy, and so they died. It's the same thing. Look, alcohol can trigger psychosis. Smoking cigarettes can trigger psychosis. You can be in a car accident and it triggers psychosis. There are many different ways in which you can trigger psychosis, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that is the cause of your psychosis. You must have had an underlying mental disability prior to whatever triggered it off. It's a must. So we don't need to concern ourselves with that because we know that it is not true. And unfortunately, we've been peddling these types of lies for decades. We inherited it from the Americans and their application of their racist fight against drugs. That's where it comes from. That is where it comes from. And now, even now that we've seen that America has more than relaxed the laws. You have about 37 states in America where there's legalization. Even though we have witnessed this, we have witnessed what's happening in Canada, we've witnessed what's happening in Europe, we are still holding on to the old imperialist, colonialist mode of thought when it comes to cannabis. Meanwhile, countries in the rest of the world are making billions of US dollars every day on the sale of cannabis. And it's time that we woke up. It is really time that Ghana wakes up and begins to smell the coffee. There is an industry out there, a huge marketplace out there where they trade in different cannabis products, CBD, soap to wash yourself, hair shampoo, creams, cosmetics. There's so much out there, and we are still thinking that cannabis is bad for you. If you participate in it, this will happen to you, this will happen to you, when really that's not the case at all. We really need to wake up.
True. Sorry for interrupting once again, Nana. Please, I've had feedback that there's a deep sound coming from your end. So if you could kindly check that out. I think there's this popping sound that comes. So it's giving some feedback.
Okay. Nullify.
Okay.
Nullify.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So,
and also,
so,
all right, you may proceed.
So what we need to do for the purposes of this discussion, we can talk about both aspects. But for purposes of this discussion, the law was passed last year, the 20th of March, that allowed for the cultivation of industrial hemp. And the industrial hemp, the THC level of the industrial hemp must be within 0.3%. Now, we must apply for licenses from the Narcotics Control Commission, and I understand that the Narcotics Control Commission, along with some of the ministries, will consider whether or not or who they give those licenses to. Now, what we have done is we have prepared ourselves for the eventuality of receiving a license. And I say that because we've been in the forefront of the fight for full legalization. Unfortunately, it has not come yet, but it will come eventually. That one I'm sure of. So the focus is on industrial hemp. And with industrial hemp, there are over 25,000 different users. As you were giving your introduction, I was just picking some of the things I have here. That's hemp toothpaste. Yeah, this is what I use every day to brush my teeth. Hemp toothpaste. Then you have hemp mouthwash. Yes, also something useful to gargle with. You won't get high. 0.3 THC, nothing else. Then you've got hemp skin lotion. Yeah, so the market is huge. Let me show you this one. This one is hemp shampoo. And you've got the hemp conditioner to actually go with it. These things are out there. You're out in Europe. They are there. Look at this one. Water. This is water that has been infused with CBD, which will have a calming effect on you when you drink it. It's very, very healthy. Very healthy. This one is for your hair. They've called it Indian hemp, actually. It's for your hair. It has particles of hemp inside it. And you know this one.
Yes, I know that one.
This is another one. This is balm for the body and the face. Made out of hemp. This is cosmetic Vaseline. So these are just some of the products, and we can go further than this because hemp can make wood. It can make everything plastic and biodegradable too. It can make the building that you're sitting in right now, and it can make it much more stronger than the concrete you currently use. Furthermore, the building blocks that you will use that are made out of hemp will absorb the carbon dioxide, reduce greenhouse gas emissions. That's what it will do. It will absorb the carbon dioxide. So it can make so many different things. It can make textile, and you can blend the textile. You can blend hemp textile with nylon, silk, cotton, wool to make many different fabrics. Yes, and when you cultivate an acre of of hemp, it will produce 4 times more oxygen than 100 acres of trees. Yeah, so it has this environmentally friendly aspect to it as well. Now, we have a challenge in Ghana because our water bodies have been poisoned. And also, lots of our land that we used to use for farming has been poisoned by those who were they were in search of gold. They found their gold now, and they've left the land. The farmers can't use it. They can't reclaim the land because it's toxic. Now, when you cultivate hemp on that land, the hemp will absorb the toxins from the soil, and after a few cultivation cycles, you will see that when you test that soil, it is now favorable for the cultivations of different crops once again, whereas now it's poison. The same thing with the water bodies. We're complaining about the River Pra and various other rivers that just don't look like rivers anymore. Once we start cultivating hemp in the river, you will see that we will absorb all the poisons out of the river, and the river water will once again become consumed. Now, when we look at the economic benefit for the country, it's projected that like by the end of 2025, that the industrial hemp or cannabis, the business will be worth like 11 billion. 14 billion. And Africa as a continent will have at least 40% of that. Africa on its own, 40% of that. Now you imagine if all African countries are taking advantage of that. Or let me bring it let me bring it small, a microcosm. Let's say Ghana is maximizing the economic benefits that can be accrued from that. You know how many millions of dollars Ghana will come into the economy, and what we're talking about is foreign currency. That is what we see. That's what I'm talking about because with Empire Agric Ghana Limited, we've signed an off-takers agreement. And so when we start cultivating, we are going to attract foreign currency into the country, of which the Ghanaian government will also be a huge beneficiary of that. Because we will have to pay our taxes. We'll have to pay our taxes. And, the tax base will be based on the foreign currency that we're bringing into the country. So there's huge economical benefits. And these economical benefits will curtail the visits to Europe that our president has to make in order to ask for some arms. Because we will be producing the finance there. The finance will be coming there into Ghana. So it will curtail those visits. It will minimize those visits. And we will have foreign exchange in our country to strengthen the city. You understand? So there are lots of benefits economically, environmentally. Industrial hemp can also be used medicinally. It's good for epileptic fits. It's good for autism. It's good for degenerative diseases like Parkinson's. It's good for asthma. It's good for glaucoma. It's just too good. This is all too good to be true. And it was criminalized and bastardized on the basis of racism by, our soulmates, the Europeans, right? And we have adopted everything that they've told us, hook, line, and sinker. And now we're sending people to prison for small amounts, negligible amounts of marijuana in their possession. We're sending them to prison for 10 years, for 15 years. I ask you, does this really make any sense? When in the United States of America, what they are doing as they legalize throughout the many states that are there, what they are doing, they are expunging criminal records. Those who were criminalized before and who serve sentences, they are expunging those sentences. People who are currently in prison serving sentences, they are releasing them from prison. They are releasing them from prison, and they are assisting them in becoming stakeholders in the business if that's what they want to do. They call it social equity. And so they take some of the money that government generates and plows it back by and large into black communities that have been targeted for many decades in this false racist fight against drugs. That's what they're doing. But over in Ghana, we're sentencing people to 10 and 15 years in prison. We are ruining lives. That's what we're doing. And at the same time, we're causing financial loss to the state because we have to look after those young people in prison for up to 10 years. Money that we don't have. Why can't we impose a fine? Why can't we impose community service? Why can't we impose alternative punishment? Why? You know, I mean, good sense must prevail. Common sense must prevail. And unfortunately in Ghana, common sense is not prevailing at the moment. And so the whole thing has turned belly up. That's what's happened in our country. And we are taking longer than we should, longer than we need to understand the economics of cannabis.
Thank you so much, Nana, for letting us know the economic benefits of cannabis. I think a lot of us just had very little information on that, and then you've thrown so much light on it this evening. But I want to find out from you, sorry for the interruption. What can we do, right, as a country, okay, to enjoy or to be able to benefit from the potentials of cannabis? What can we do as a country?
Well, what we need to do now, because considering the law has been passed some 18 months ago, we have the legislative instrument that should be presented in Parliament the next time the parliamentarians sit, which should be in October. So they will now have between October and the Christmas holidays to approve that legislative instrument. I would urge them, I would support them to get it done, because they are preventing people who are in a state of transition at the moment from becoming legal entities and earning foreign exchange legally. Because many of the people who are very interested in becoming industrial hemp farmers, they're currently cultivating marijuana illegally. And it's not anything that people should be surprised about, because this has been happening in Ghana for decades and indeed for generations. This business has been handed down from fathers to sons and fathers to sons for generation. And these are many of the people that we have an affinity with, because we believe that they are the specialists in this type of cultivation that the country needs. And they are desperate to end the illicit cultivation that they're in and that they're involved in. But we're all waiting for the legislative instrument to be passed so that we can all submit our applications to receive a license to cultivate industrial hemp. These people are in transition. I say to them that, look, what you are doing is dangerous. If the police were to find out, they would come, they would destroy your crop, they would arrest you, you will be placed in prison for a minimum of 10 years, and your family as you know it would fall apart. Your children wouldn't be able to go to school. Indeed, there may not be sufficient food within your household anymore to support your family. And where would you be? You would be in prison. But they say to me that, look, this is what they've done all their life. And if they stop now, would I be the one to support them financially? And of course, I have to be honest with them and say, no, I couldn't support you financially. So what is it they're going to do? The fact of the matter is they're going to continue. I can only pray for them that they don't get caught because I understand the reasons why they are doing what they're doing. They have a family to defend just like anybody else. And so we'd like to urge on the parliamentarians to move with God's speed to pass the legislative instrument so that we can apply, and many of these people who are currently farmers can, instead of cultivating illicitly, become legitimate legal farmers that are contributing to the gross domestic product of Ghana.
Okay, thank you so much, Nana, for letting us know that. But then I want to follow up with this question. Are there any measures that have been put in place to prevent abuse of marijuana usage by the youth?
Well, you see, we're switching in between. I'm talking about industrial hemp, and you're talking about marijuana. We're talking at cross purposes about two different things. Look, the abuse, they say, of marijuana. Let me tell you what happens if you abuse marijuana. First of all, you may have a joint, and you've smoked that joint. You've arrived at your sweet spot. You're nice. Let's put it that way. You then make another joint, and you've smoked half of that joint, and you've put it down. You've passed your sweet spot because that happened in your first joint. All that will happen to you now that you've abused marijuana, is guess what? You'll fall asleep. That is all that's going to happen. You will fall asleep. It's not when you take alcohol, you can become rowdy, you want to have a fight, you want to smash the place up, you want to drive under the influence of alcohol, end up having a car accident, could possibly kill someone. That's what happens when you abuse alcohol. It's not the same when you abuse marijuana. When you abuse marijuana, you're going to bed. That's what's going to happen. You're going to sleep. So this talk about abusing marijuana, we're fixated on things that don't really exist. You understand what I'm saying? It's the propaganda that was put out there in this false fight against drugs. It's falsehood. You cannot abuse marijuana. You cannot abuse it. Once you get to your sweet spot, you are satisfied. And after that, sleep will overcome you. So there's no abuse. But you can abuse alcohol. And people do abuse alcohol. And all we say to them is drink responsibly. And we say it's not for people under the age of 18, but in Ghana we sell it to anybody. A baby can come with the appropriate money and get a bottle of schnapps or whatever. We sell it to anybody. Right? But we're not complaining about that. We're not saying anything about that. But we're talking about something that is a natural plant that has the world of healing properties, that has economic benefits, that has huge environmental benefits, and we're jumping up and down and making a loud noise about that and spreading false rumors and propaganda for God knows what reason.
Thank you so much for that clarification. We want to further ask you that what's the process that one has to go through in order to secure permits to become a ganja farmer or an exporter in Ghana?
Well, that process isn't quite clear at the moment because the legislative instrument will tell us how much we will pay for a license. So nobody knows how much we'll pay for a license yet. We don't know who really we're going to apply for. We don't know how long the process will take. We don't know any of these things. But for us at Hemp Agric Ghana Limited, what we do, we encourage people to come into the office if they're interested in cultivating industrial hemp, and we encourage them to come in and register with us. Now, when they register with us, we provide a particular service for them. And the service we provide is that if they don't have a tax identification number, we will secure one for them. We will assist them in securing their Ghana card. We will assist them in completing the registration form for the formation of a limited liability company. We will direct them to the bank that we bank with. We will issue them an off-takers agreement in line with the option that they have chosen. We will complete their business plan for them. We will train them so that they know what they're doing when they get on the farm. And we will also provide the certified industrial hemp seeds, and the certificate says that these industrial hemp seeds have a THC of less than 0.3%. And we will guide them through the process to apply for the license from whoever it may be it Narcotics Control Commission, etc., etc. So we encourage them to come in and register with us. And we say to them, if you register under option 1, you'll use 35 acres of land, you'll harvest 25,000 kilos of hemp, we will pay you 520,000 US dollars, and you will cultivate and harvest 3 times a year. So that means you'll get a total of 1.5 million in a year. If you choose option 2, you'll be working on a land space of about 65 acres. You'll cultivate and harvest 50,000 kilos. We will pay 1 million US dollars for that. If you register in option 3, you'll be working on a land space of 90 acres. You will cultivate and harvest 75,000 kilos. We will pay 1.5 million US dollars for that. And the fourth option, you'll be working on an area of 130 acres. You'll cultivate and harvest 100,000 kilos, and we will pay you 2.4 million US dollars for that. That's the type of business opportunity that we are offering for Ghanaians here in Ghana, and we're offering to those who live abroad as well. Those are the business opportunities. We say to those who have been working in the cocoa fields for so long that, look, switch your crop, because when you fill a 40-foot container of cocoa beans, you only get 10,000 US dollars. Now, that has got to be one of the biggest robberies of all time, one of the biggest daylight robberies. A 40-foot container of cocoa beans, and you're only going to get 10,000 Ghana cedis. Now, we are saying to you, come and see us in the office, subscribe with us, and when your license comes, even if you're using option 1, even if you've opted for option 1, where you're only going to provide 25,000 kilos of hemp over an area of 35 acres, you will be paid 520,000 US dollars. This is what we're saying to you. So I'm sorry for the cocoa farmers, because they deserve much more than that, because they really have put Ghana on the map with the cocoa that they produce, but they're not being paid accordingly. And so we say, well, everybody needs to give things a little switch. Time to make money, empower yourself, because this is what your program is about. It's about empowering yourself. And we can assure you that every person who comes over to us, who's willing to take on contract 1 and just provide 25,000 kilos, at the end of the year, that person will be a millionaire. We can guarantee that. You take in the training, you do exactly what we say, we supervise the farming anyway. You will harvest 3 times for that year. It will be 1.5 million over a period of a year. And that's more than you can get for growing cocoa over the next 20 years, all in 1 year. That's what we say. That's what we advocate. So we ask people to come into the office. We sit down with the people, we counsel the people, we show them exactly what's on the table, we let them know exactly how it is. Hemp Agric Ghana Limited has around 39,000 acres that are spread across 10 regions in the length and breadth of Ghana. Now, that acreage is what we call our land bank. And so if you don't have land, it doesn't matter. You may be from the Upper East region. They now call it the Northeastern region. You may be from up there, Bulga, those sides, Boku, all those sides. We have a land bank that we're establishing in Nairobi and in Bongo, whereby you don't have to come to Accra to cultivate. You can be up there in your farming enclave in Bongo or Nalegu and be cultivating industrial land. You're making your money just the same way. You don't have to be centered in Accra because we have land all over the place. You see, so the opportunities for investments are real. And the only thing that is holding the development in Ghana up right now are the politicians. It's them who we're waiting for to pass this legislation. They've had more holiday breaks than anybody else. From school children, they're still on another holiday. So hopefully, when they get back in November, in October, we'll get everything. So that's the business opportunities that's there. And I will say to you that if you're interested, you can get my number from Madam Prince. You just give me a call or a WhatsApp message, and we'll start the conversation from there, and we'll show you exactly what needs to be done, how, when, and why.
Okay, thank you so much, Nana. We want to find out from you. Earlier during the discussion, you showed us some of the products that can be made from this marijuana and the Indian hemp. I want to find out, are these accessible in the market, and then where can the public find them?
Okay, let me start again by let's not keep mixing up Indian industrial hemp with marijuana, because all that I've showed you, none of these products are made out of marijuana. They're made out of industrial hemp. That's what they're made out of. None of them are made out of marijuana. When you look at this, this is made in Ghana. Yeah? This is oil. They call it hemp oil. I know it's secret, but for the purpose of this show, it's hemp oil. Fantastic for your skin, fantastic for your hair. You can even use some on your salads. You can eat it, you can drink it, right? Now, let's not get confused about what marijuana makes and what industrial hemp makes, because we're only talking about industrial hemp. So all the items that I showed you are made from industrial hemp, strictly industrial hemp. Marijuana can really make some very useful medicine that can replace the use of opioids. Let me tell you that. Marijuana is very good for a number of ailments, all degenerative diseases. The pharmaceuticals don't like me to tell you this, but it can deal with cancer. The oil from marijuana can deal with cancer. They won't like it because I'm cutting into their business if people now start pursuing the oil from marijuana for cancer. But it's a fact. It's a fact. But for the purposes of this conversation, we're talking about industrial hemp. And industrial hemp can make everything. The building that you're in, as I say, industrial hemp can make The tables and chairs that you're using, industrial hemp can make it. Even your floor tiles and wall tiles, industrial hemp can make it. The clothes you are wearing, the shoes you are wearing, the cosmetics you are wearing, industrial hemp can make it. So it can make so many different things, and the beauty about it is that eco-friendly issue that is there. It's eco-friendly. And you know, this is at a time when we're all crying, we're all realizing now that yes, we were making some great advancement, but we're killing the world simultaneously. And now everybody all of a sudden is getting conscious about the environment because the icebergs are melting and there's global warming and lots of different things are going to happen. And if we're not careful, there's going to be a global catastrophe. Well, we have found something that minimizes all of that. Because let's say, for example, if you had large communities where all the buildings were made out of industrial hemp, then that's zero carbon footprints in that particular area. You're reducing global gas emissions because all those properties will absorb the carbon dioxide that are coming out from lawn mowers, cars, trucks, you know, helicopters because they're low flying as well. You know, it would absorb all of that. You know, so just imagine we had cities where all the buildings were constructed out of industrial hemp. We could potentially reverse what is happening now. We could potentially reverse, but it would, you know, the type of agreement that we would need across the world is something that, yet again, we'd probably start a world war over the way we, you know, mankind just can't seem to agree. But let's be clear that what we're talking about is all about industrial hemp. The benefits I talk about are the benefits from industrial hemp. You know, it's important that we get that right because you're a mouthpiece for society as someone who works on a respectable channel such as yours. So it's very important that we get it right.
Thank you so much once again for the clarification. I think time is almost fast spent, but then before we would call it a night, I would want to read a few comments that came trickling in, that came through, sorry, and then we would go on with our final question and then we'll call it a night. So if my producer can kindly project it. Okay, this is from Kwekuadi and he says, wow, Ohenewa, you're looking beautiful. I am watching you live from Holland. Thank you, Kwekuadi, for joining us live. Keep watching us and keep supporting us. This from Selassie Dinatete, and she says, you look gorgeous, Ohenewa, watching you live from Sogakope. Thank you, Selassie, for watching us. Keep joining us. And this from Patience Darko. I think this has been resolved. So if there are any more comments, I would want to quickly read it. Ebony Charles Collins says, thank you for the good work, Joyce. Thank you so much, Collins. He also moves on to say, Nana Kwekwajiman, thank you. All right. And he says, we miss Nana on the soccer scene. I was going to have asked that question, but then along the line, other questions came up. Okay, this is from Edna Segonya, and she says, hello, Ohenewa. I'm watching from Tema and I'm enjoying the interview. Thank you, Edna. Okay, Eric Drobo says, why is Ghana delaying in passing the LI to start issuing the license? Maybe Nana can answer that for us. Anthony Ado says, I don't know what's wrong with our leaders, cry. Okay, so that's it for the comments for tonight. Nana, I don't know if there's anything you would want to address or any question that we might not have asked during the program before we finally call it a night.
I'd just like to say that there's an enormous opportunity for Ghanaians and Ghana to embrace. It's been a long time coming, but at the end of the day, once we're serious about it, and we're working on a level playing field, we can really address a lot of the challenges that we face in our community. You know, a lot of us have bad roads to contend with. We sit there whining, waiting for government to do something. Government isn't going to do anything. Government just buys brand new V8 so that they can't feel the potholes. What we will be able to do is through this redistribution of wealth, we will empower ourselves and we can fix our own neighborhoods. We've really got to take on a new mindset that says we're not waiting for anybody else again to make things better for us. We must embrace this opportunity and then make things better for us ourselves instead of waiting. So I think that if you're in Ghana or even if you're outside of Ghana, if you send me a message on WhatsApp on 0244 264 221, we can begin the conversation about how you can get involved, and you too can potentially become a millionaire. We can have that discussion. That's 0244 264 221.
Thank you, Nana. On a lighter note, before we call it a night, when we posted the flyer, we had a lot of people asking some questions, and I would rather prefer posing that question to you so you address them. They want to find out that, you are famously known within the soccer arena and then the sports arena. So what happened before you decided to switch to become an advocate for marijuana or industrial hemp? Why that switch? Any motivation?
Yeah, the long and short of it is, it's not paying the bills. It has to pay the bills. I have a family to tend to, children who've got to go to school, and I love football. But if it can't provide the bread that is required on my table, I've got to put it aside. Furthermore, the way we run football here in Ghana leaves a lot to be desired, and the seriousness that I would want us to take things up is not the way it's being addressed at the moment. So, sometimes it's nice to follow your passion, but you've still got to do daily bread. And I think I've made the right decision because this decision isn't only going to benefit me, it's going to benefit a lot of Ghanaians. It's as if I'm opening the doors for a lot of Ghanaians to come through those doors and really pick themselves up and become wealthy people in our society who can help people no matter what that assistance may be. So I feel much better than I do when it's just about football because we're just not doing things right.
Okay. Thank you, Nana. Our final question to you. What is your advice for Ghanaians that are watching you in the Eastern European countries, business-wise? I mean, any short advice for them? And then we'll call it a night.
They can still get involved. WhatsApp me. We can have the conversation. We are not just offering business opportunities to Ghanaians who live here. We're dealing with people from America, Canada, Japan, China, the whole of Europe. We have a couple of Suriname, Mexico. It's gone right. It's gone viral around the world. So if you're interested, but you're outside of Ghana, you're also welcome. WhatsApp me 0244 264 221. Of course, you've got to add 001 233 if you're outside of the country. WhatsApp me, give me a shout. Let's begin the conversation. There's a whole new industry we're going to kick off here in Ghana. In fact, it's an industrial revolution, no less. That's what it is. It's going to change the face of Ghana as we know it forever.
Thank you so much, Nana. It was a privilege to host you this evening on Empowerment, our show. And to all our viewers who watched us tonight, it was an interaction with the founder and president of Hemp Association of Ghana and the CEO of Hemp Agric Ghana Limited. So that was Nana Kweku Ajiman that was with us tonight on Today Ghana News TV, the web TV for best programs. So we want to say a very big thank you to you, Nana, for joining us tonight. We really learned a lot, and I'm sure that what for our viewers, all the misconceptions they had about this particular issue has been resolved. And want to say a very big thank you for spending time with us this evening to digest the issues with us. Thank you so much, and then we hope to stay in touch and also keep up with the network. So this was Today Ghana News TV, and it's Empowerment our show. So thank you all for watching us. Keep supporting us. Keep joining us this and every Friday at 6 p.m. It promises to be entertaining as always. And so we want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors for tonight before we call it a night. So thank you to Authentic Sales, Taylor the Cobbler, Jody's Kitchen, Afrani's Cuisine, the Links Cosmetology Training Institute, and Agbozo Herbal Clinic. So we'd want to wrap up for tonight. Thank you for joining us. See you same time next week. I have been your host, Joyce Ohinewa Papon. Bye-bye.
Mo me hu yo, Ghana man ya wara udio, Jino me